Let me share a bit of a personal journey with you. I had gotten to that place where I felt that there is more. So I began a journey as I consumed information. As I was listening to a podcast, I was no longer listening to it. Here are some of the steps that I discovered that helped me along that amazing journey. So it's your time to convert what is potential to become profitable. Hi, there is such a thing as frustrated potential, especially in our day and age of the increase of knowledge. Let me share a bit of a personal journey with you. So some time back, I embarked on a journey of realization and discovery because I had gotten to that place where I felt that there is more than the podcasts that I'm consuming, the books that I am reading, and so on and so forth. I wanted to find a bridge between what is potential in the books and the videos and the podcasts and what is now profitable living as far as that knowledge is concerned. In physics, it's more of having potential energy and making it to become kinetic energy. In our context here, I'm talking about moving from potential to profitable living. Here are some of the steps that I discovered that helped me along that amazing journey. First, you must understand how important it is to convert the materials you're reading into pictures in your heart. Many of us listening to me or watching me, you have a lot of notebooks. Many of your writings are actually external. And until you learn how to convert external writings into internal writings through painting pictures, through the faculty of your imagination, you will not see real change. So I began a journey where, as I consumed information, as I was listening to a podcast, I was no longer listening to it passively. As I was reading a book, I was no longer reading the book passively. I was reading the book actively, creating pictures in my mind regarding the material I am consuming. And those pictures are very important because you cannot do what you have not seen in the inside of you. So it is from potential to, first of all, pictures. And then when I began to write or paint pictures with the information I was consuming, now I began to ask myself, what are the principles? Remember, when we talk about principles, there are two categories of principles. There are generic principles and there are specific principles. So I would ask myself, what are the generic principles on this particular information that I am consuming, and what are the specific principles for me? For example, someone can share how they prefer working during the night. That is a specific principle that might not apply to all their audiences. Another will share concerning something else which they do. Now you need to differentiate between what is a general principle and what is a specific principle for you. So I moved from pictures, now turned it and now asked myself, what are the principles I can apply? And then the other P is called patterns. I now began to observe patterns, whether it is in a book, whether it is in a video. What are the consistent patterns? And every principle that I identified, I formed structure and discipline around that principle. Because the only way you can have longevity in the principle you have identified is by simply establishing systems, structures, disciplines, routines around that principle that you have identified. So we have talked about pictures, we have talked about patterns, we have talked about principles, rather, we have talked about patterns, and now the fourth one that I identified was what I call possibilities. You see, with time, as you exercise yourself in the pattern, as you exercise yourself in the routine, it eventually compounds to a place where you now simply step into the possibilities of the potential that you had read or the potential you had listened to. You seeing that? You see now the translation. And then eventually what began to happen is that now it translated into profit. Realize something. Many times we consume information once, or we consume a certain kind of book or podcast once. You listening to something once doesn't mean you really get it the first time. There are books I have read more than once. There are books I have read close to 100 times. There are videos and audios that I have listened to close to even 200 times. You see, it was not just about vocabulary. It was about that kind of information being solid, translating into pictures, translating into understanding in you, because that is the only way you will be able to act on the information you are receiving every other day. So it's your time to convert what is potential to become profitable, to become something that you can maximize and engage with fully. Thank you so much for listening. Ensure that you follow our channel, Luke VM Global, and subscribe. As always, keep winning, keep shining, keep kinging. Until next time, bye-bye.